So I was just watching the show. It's called How It Ends, and it's news 2021. The thing that I thought was really cool, there was a few different things, but it is supposed to be the end, which, like, I don't know. I think I've lived through 3 or 4 of these, like, oh, the world is ending, you know. And somebody even says that on there, like, makes reference to that. But anyways, the thing that I thought was really cool is, so while she is going through this person who she's going through it with is her younger self. And so it talks about this relationship between them, and then it starts to go on a journey, kind of like the Wizard of Oz or something, on this journey to find themselves, to confront these people that have pained them and stuff like that. And then they meet all of these strange people along the way. So the thing that I thought was cool was, if you, instead of putting it in as your younger self, if you just put it in as your soul, you and your soul going around together speaking, if you think about it like that. And then all of these people who they meet along their path, who by the time it is the end, where they're like, now, what do I got to lose? I'm just going to go out there and show myself. I'm just going to, go out and do the things I never got to do, the things that I was held back. And now I'm going to just go out and be free. That is what you want to be working towards all the time. You don't want to be on your deathbed and then just be regrets and stuff of like, and that's what I talk about from the beginning when I very first started doing this channel, the things that, you think about, the things that hold you back, the things that your limitations, the things that you don't want to, it's the things that you can be, that you don't want to change them, but also there can be things that you just have no awareness of until you just really start trying to understand yourself more. And but it's the challenges is where you learn about yourself. So the challenges are what we should be like so excited to deal with, because the challenges is where we actually have growth that we can witness, that we can really see, like, oh man, I've come a long ways. Just looking at like, whoa, I always go with the thing of like, well, would I ever date so-and-so again? When it's a for sure no, you've had growth, you've grown from what that situation was, from whatever you went through. So, you wouldn't go back there. So right there, you show yourself like, I did learn, I've grown, I wouldn't go back there. And, I can't shame anybody who goes back over and over, because I did over and over and over and over. You start making excuses, you start pointing, oh, it's them, oh, it's this, it's that, It's not until you really take on your own self where you're going to see significant change. But I love how in this, she is, it's like she's, I don't know, trying to find peace with herself, or she's just having these deep conversations with herself and stuff. But to me, the whole thing is, when you are young, your younger self, your more true self, the part of you that is not held back by what everybody else thinks of it, the part of it that is, this silly, that does silly walks, it doesn't care if it gets embarrassed, that isn't embarrassed to be itself, to just be silly. And that is, that is what is really in us. It's our true self. And then we are born into this very controlled existence that immediately starts putting limitations. I still talked about, you get your hand dealt to you, your whatever your things that you're going to go through with these different people that are going to cause trauma, that is going to help you build these walls, locking your true self in. because you've got to protect your true self, because it is constantly getting hurt. It's constantly feeling pain from these others that can't even recognize it or see it. So you've got to, build a fortress around it. And then you have to get to the place of to see, I kind of really like that, my true self. I kind of really just want to put myself out there. I kind of want to be free. I kind of just want to express myself and be authentic. And, it's a lot to get yourself to that point of being able to accept your own self, to be ready to have others. Because along with looking for acceptance, you're going to find people who don't accept you, people who are, I see it as part of the system, as part of that, want to keep people oppressed. They don't want people to self-discover. They don't want people to go outside of the herd. They want everybody to be very controlled. They don't want people to be their authentic self. They want it all to be. That's why the parameters were put in place in our programming. So it is to keep us all in this, template of behavior. When you go outside of it, then you're unacceptable. So, we've all gone through this period of feeling that we're unacceptable for our true self. So to be able to go through and say, wait a minute, it's this system is the problem. It's not me. I should be able to be my true self. I've got to accept myself. And then it's the system that is trying to break me down, to tear me down, to keep me controlled. When you start recognizing what it is that really has put up those walls, I think it will make it a lot simpler for people to start being able to break them down. But I really like how this movie portrays so much of what's really inside of people, what's waiting there inside to feel free. And what does it take for you to feel? I mean, does it have to be the end of the world where you've got nothing to lose? Or can you just say, really, what do I have to lose? I've already been unaccepted. I've already had to build walls around myself. I've already had to create fake persons to go out into the world so that I can be protected in my own little shell, So what is there to lose to just be your true self? And then, just all the talks, the conversations with the parents and stuff like that, and being able to talk about your feelings and putting them out there to the people who you feel like didn't accept you in the very beginning, when usually it's just miscommunications all the time. We're miscommunicating and not understanding, we're a lot more fragile, we're a lot more vulnerable. And it's easy to hurt us, especially in the beginning when we haven't got the walls. We're dealing with a walled-in society. So when we come in, we're just this that's the whole thing of how you look at babies, just this very, and that is what you're like when you come in. You're just this beautiful thing. They can be injured so easily. That just depends on everyone in your soul. I mean, everything is representative of what it really is. So all things represent, nature represents what life is really all about. And, that's going to sound really crazy to some people, but, it is, when the soul comes in, this very vulnerable, fragile thing, and it's so easy to hurt it. And, and then the being, the ego, all of, builds these walls. I'll protect you. Yeah, we'll keep them away. They're horrible, and it builds in these, narcissistic problems, gaslight, all of these ways that is a dysfunctional way to be able to go into the world. We don't want that kind of world. We want a world to be free, to be able to come out and be ourselves, to not feel that we are not good enough, to have rejection wound us so deep. And, it's internal, our own self, to feel good about our own self. And it's also our environment. You know, it is the merging, it's the balance of all these things coming together. And that's what we're doing right now, is this big changeover. So I really like that, how that movie was showing that, because I thought, you know, what a perfect thing for people to be able to see. Like, sometimes I think, like, I say stuff and they're like, okay, I don't even get it. You know, like, how this, your soul, your soul's world, your soul's life is real life. Most of that you don't even understand or see, because you only can see what's right here before you. So you don't understand who and what you are and the significance to every single thing that happens to you, until you can go beyond this little thing, this little light that you're focused on, this little moment in time and space. And you know, you're so much more, but each experience is so significant also in your growth. So I don't know, I think I start getting way too hard to understand. So, but anyways, if you do have a hard time trying to understand, like, you know, I think that show, it shows, like, your soul is this separate being from you, and it is the being in the beginning that became your wounded self. It is what you are trying to protect. When you can get down to that, and you can start going in and merging that and becoming the love, the acceptance of yourself, and not worrying about, like, what this system thinks of you, to be more focused on that, you know, that mind-body connection, to connect with you, yourself, and not worry about with this whole world, you know, that they've told you all the time, like, that's what's most important. It's not. That's not what's most important. Most important is the merge between you and who you really truly are, the essence of who and what you are, and getting in touch with all that is, because it's far beyond, far more magnificent than this world that you're focused on. But anyways, that show, just when you're watching it, just think about it. Like, imagine the two beings. Your soul is outside of you, and you're going, because that's what I kept seeing when I would see the conversations, and I thought it was really cool. So, okay, have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.